Montega, M-O-N-T-A-G-A. That is Montega, M-O-N-T-A-G-A. There is only one Montega. There is only one America. There is only one you. And again, thank you for unplugging from the Matrix here with me. The show will start in just a moment. Don't forget, visit the Echelon platform to get all the amazing merch. Make sure that you are supporting the show by wearing it on your body. We have tons of new merch out there for you guys. So feel free to go get you something that represents you being unplugged from the Matrix and from under the control of the deep state and the Illuminati. The show is about to start soon. Hey everybody, this is Tony Montega, Tony X, Antone Tucker. Thank you for being here. The show will start in one moment. So go make sure you take care of the bathroom breaks. Go get your beverage, get your chips and popcorn. We're about to unplug from the Matrix together. And again, thank you very much for being here. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Montega, M-O-N-T-A-G-A. That is Montega, M-O-N-T-A-G-A. There is only one Montega. There is only one America. There is only one you. And again, thank you for unplugging from the Matrix here with me. The show will start in just a moment. Don't forget, visit the Echelon platform to get all the amazing merch. Make sure that you are supporting the show by wearing it on your body. We have tons of new merch out there for you guys. So feel free to go get you something that represents you being unplugged from the Matrix and from under the control. Due to adult language, themes, and images, I'm gonna warn you, don't have your children around. Please don't let your children hear the language. Please, viewers' discretion is advised. I gave you a warning. Now let's get into the show. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, because somewhere around the world it is truly what time it is, and I am your host, the dopest political analyst on this planet, and the most feared former congressional and senatorial candidate of these United States. Antone Tucker, Tony Montega, Tony X, the truth, the threat, the legend, Neo, the wisest man in the room, and I'm here with you, and we are all free. From the Matrix, I want to say thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for being in the building, and shout out to all the Somalis who came to spam the chat yesterday, calling me all types of hard R's. I can't wait to drop the video I have for you guys tomorrow. It's going to take about 1 minute. You're really going to love what I have to say. And it has nothing to do with the show. It has to do with a group of people who are happy to be beggars. The audacity. We're going to get into the show. As you can see, the beautiful Echelon platform is here, you guys. If you're trying to get merch, I should have worn my Tax the Liberal shirt today, but I will make sure that I wear it in future episodes, which should be airing tomorrow, you guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you push for notifications. That way you can be notified, because we're going to have other content that's going to drop that we are pre-recording behind the scenes You know, we will always have a live show Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you got to have more content from me. And the people who produce the show with me are pushing me to produce more content. So we're going to talk about a lot more, and we're going to have a lot more content done. But make sure you go to the Echelon platform. The link is in my description. You can go there, go get some merch. Get you a Tax the Liberals t-shirt. Make sure you wear it proudly. If you're somebody who works in the office space full of liberals, you definitely need to go get the Tax the Liberals t-shirt. Maybe later on in another episode, I'm going to go on the website and I'm going to do some shopping. I'm going to do some shopping and I'm going to pick certain guests and I'm going to look at the chat and I'm going to look at your shirt size that you say that you wear. And I'm going to purchase merch for you, whether you're on X, whether you're on Instagram. I don't really care. Whenever I see you comment your shirt size, I'm going to order the shirt and then I'm going to contact you. It will be me contacting you. It won't be someone with a fake account or another account. It will be me contacting you directly. Trust you me, I'm going to get right in contact with you. I'm going to go to your social media page, or I'm going to go to your page on YouTube or your page on Rumble, and I'm going to go there and I'm going to make sure I tell you this is, you'll know, and I'm going to tell you one. And I'll tell you how to contact me because it will always be my email. It will always be the number that I give. It will always be a number 209-208-4001. No one else is going to have that number. That's the number that I'm going to have you text to get your t-shirt. So it will be 209-208-4001. No one else has the number, but you'll have the number. You'll have the number and you'll text your t-shirt size to me, and I'm going to make sure I ship it out to you. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start to promote a greater, higher learning here. Okay, so now let's get into the first thing. Let's do the auto pen last. Let me just open this up with Tim Walsh. So, for all you Somalis yesterday, I haven't forgot about you. Every one of the Somalis that are in Minnesota are blessed to be here in the greatest nation in the world. I don't believe every Somali is arrogant, but I do know where you come from is dusty. It is. I'm not lying about what I'm saying. You don't want to be there. That's why you're here. You're upset because people are saying you're not supposed to scam. You claim that we're racist. Even Fat Boy, Juicy Neck, Roland Martin, he thinks that we're jealous too. We would have never allowed you to come here. If Americans were really racist, we would have boycotted by the tens of millions, made it extremely unsafe for you and your children in order to be here to prosper. Yet we've allowed you to play yourself. It's not all Somalians. But for the people who are defending or hiding the fact that there were Somalis that lied and said they fed 2,000 kids daily, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're cheering on the very people that also robbed you too. If they cared, they could have changed your community for the better. And you wouldn't feel the need to scam and steal because you'd be able to apply yourself. Show how intelligent you are, how capable and competitive you are. Instead, there are a lot of you who are upset because I tell the truth. You come from where it's dusty. It's dusty. I came from where it's poor by American standards. But where I come from, by American standards of poverty, it's like the Carlton to you guys. It's a fact. I'm not saying anything. That's not true. I'm telling you the truth. And you've been given an opportunity to leave a dusty place to come to a place where you're holding public office. I don't know what makes you think in any way, shape, or form that stealing billions of dollars a year be swept under a rug. But I'm glad all of this happens because it exposes just how corrupt the deep state is. Kamala Harris chose Walsh to be her vice president so they can cover up all the smuck they did in Minnesota. This is my conspiracy theory. Tim Walz was picked strategically because he had so much dirt, so much illegal activity happening in the state of Minnesota that the only way to cover it up would be to get him to the second highest office in the nation. Because they already victimized the people who were exposing all of the corruption in the first place. That's why it got so big. Because they believed they would be unstoppable in the first place. And then you let them lie and said they fed 2,000 kids when I know for a fact in Minnesota, hundreds of kids were starving that were Somalian. They had hundreds of millions of dollars. And there are people right now in Minnesota who's Somalian, who's on welfare. They could have bought and opened up small businesses and allowed the people to work. Instead, they put the money in their pockets and they flew to other countries, indulging themselves. And for anybody who's upset with me because I'm able to articulate just how corrupt and dumb your people are, don't be upset with me. Because I talk about every group of people that do this type of stuff. No one is saying we're going to exclude you. We're going to add you into the pot of dumb SOBs who are fighting for these people to steal and rob from them. Don't be upset with me, sucker. I'm not the person who lied and said they fed your kids when you were starving, you and your children. I don't know how or what in the world would make you think I'm jealous because you need a handout. And you arrogantly tell people you're happy for it. You're happy to be a beggar. You're happy to be homeless. I've watched Africans come here from Nigeria with nothing. And then I watched them become doctors. Extraordinary soldiers. In the business that I'm in, the people that we come across, some of the most noble and greatest soldiers we ever meet are from where, Noel? Africa. You shame beautiful African people. You shame Islam. You shame everything decent. And you're upset because I get to point it out to you. You could have changed the course of history for yourselves. Because this is not Somalia. Somalia is not Minnesota. That flag is going to change. And we're going to send so many people. I'm glad you spammed the chat yesterday. Hand to God. Hand to God. Because all you going back anyway. All of you anti-hate American people, we know who you are. And we're going to go into Minnesota. And we're going to start to drag some of you out of here. Should have never been here in the first place. And I'm going to create a montage next year of all the crying tough guys who was here taking advantage of a system. And now who's in Somalia struggling with nothing. You deserve nothing. There were people here who wanted you to succeed. There were people here who wanted to see you flourish, who wanted to see you safe. That's the reason why no one boycotted. What makes you think that we wouldn't have flipped this whole thing upside down if we didn't want you here? We don't hate Muslim people. We hate terrorists. We hate people who blame America for all their woes and not their own nation leaders. It's the reason why I asked the reason why I asked the Free Palestine people, why aren't you mad at Jordan and Egypt? They're Muslim and they're right there. Why do you continue to put this at my feet? And you'll say because they give Israel money. We give Jordan and Egypt money too. Look at that. They buy fighter jets from us, tanks, all type of unaliving machinery. And they're Muslim. And when the Palestinians were going there to seek refuge, they closed their borders to them. But you're not over there boycotting. You're over here because we're in the business of unaliving people. We're the greatest to ever do it. So we sell unaliving hardware to people. I'm going to talk about the Israel topic too. I'm going to make sure I talk about it. And I'm not here. I'm not a Zionist. I don't get paid by Zionists. But I'm going to expose some stuff to you so you can start to blame the people who should be blamed. And I promise you, when we do this show, no one's going to say I'm wrong, because you never do. I'm going to come with all facts. I'm going to show you something that's going to have to open your eyes, because if you really want to stop the problem, I'm going to not just tell you what the problem, I'm going to show you what the solution is, without telling you we need to hate anybody. Now let me read this about Tim Walz. Hold on. Sorry. Young man thing was going off in the background. And it wasn't supposed to. But shout out to the liberal hive mind. I love to watch his content on YouTube. It's great content. Tim Walz is 100% responsible for mass fraud in Minnesota. We let Tim Walz know of fraud early on. This is reports. This is supposed to be from an alleged whistleblower. We let Tim Walz know of fraud early on, hoping for a partnership in stopping fraud. But no, we got the opposite response. Tim Walz systematically retaliated against whistleblowers using monitoring, threats, repression, and did his best to discredit fraud reports. Instead of partnership, we got the full weight of retaliation by Tim Walz, certain DFL members, and an indifferent mainstream media, because, well, the CIA is all working together. It's scary, isolating, and left us wondering, who can we turn to? In addition to retaliating against whistleblowers, Tim Walz disempowered the office of the legislative auditor, allowing agencies to disregard their audit findings and guidance. Media and politicians supporting Tim Walz or the DFL agenda attacked whistleblowers who were trying to raise red flags on fraud activities. Again, you continuously see that the media has been implicated in this as well, because this is two dirty wings on the same dirty, dirty, dirty bird. The media is the feathers. Both sides of this dirty bird got feathers. The media is the arm of propaganda. They put Tim Walz, in my opinion, these are things that I am alleging, because this is what I've seen. This is how I'm analytical. I have to ask what would be the cause of all of these things, because if you're a detective, then you know there's no such thing as a coincidence. They didn't have this goofy boy tampon distributing, balding, soft of a man who don't know how to use a firearm. He was a joke. They didn't put him up there. They didn't even teach him how to pretend to be a man. Just put him out there and let him make a fool of himself. But why? Why would they just Christian Kamala Harris to run and then push, because they was already in control of Kamala Harris? In my opinion, Kamala Harris knew that the president's position was compromised, and because she allowed it to happen and she didn't say anything, there was no articles put in for to remove Biden due to his inability to hold office, and because she's so-called loyal to the soil, because she didn't actually do what was necessary to save the nation, because she couldn't. She is part of the CIA. All of these people are put there. They have been put there. That's why they tried to kill Trump. They didn't want him there. There are a lot of people who are saying that he is with the Illuminati, he is bought and sold, but I keep seeing him do things to fracture their power and their ability to enslave this population. We're going to do a show about what he's doing with the money too, man. In addition to retaliating against whistleblowers, Tim Walz disempowered the office of, I said that already. This is a cascade of systematic failures leading up to Tim Walz. Agency leaders appointed by Tim Walz willfully disregard the rules and laws to keep fraudulent reports quiet, even to the extent of threatening families of whistleblowers. This is insane, but you know it's true. I mean, now you got to think about why someone who was attached to Tim Walz went and shot another Democrat who voted a different way. I believe that if there's an investigation into the family and that legislative woman that was unalived, God bless her soul, in her home by someone who said Tim Walz told him to do it, I believe that if there is a proper investigation into that, we would see that she probably was one of the people who was trying to blow the whistle on the fraud. You want to bet? You think Tony X probably did that search already? Maybe he did. I believe if you search up the young lady who was unalived in her home by the gentleman who said Waltz told him to do it, you will see she was somebody, and reports will show you she was someone who was trying to blow the whistle on the fraud and abuse. It wasn't because someone voted a different way. That was just a reason and an excuse to start to eliminate people. The retaliation was at a level of the extreme because you all know they unalive people. This is what they do. This is how they hold and maintain secrets. I've watched Donald Trump dismantle the largest blackmailing ring of American politicians. And he did it all and couldn't tell you that he did it because it was exposed to you that it was happening in the first place. I can't wait to do the money episode. Man, I know, boss lady, I'm going to stop. Let me go ahead and get to it. How much more? We got 10 minutes. We're going to do the Biden thing. So basically, whistleblowers are saying Tim Walz knew. Tim Walz knew, and Tim Walz is definitely responsible. That's what it is. Now, I want to get to this real quick. This is the meat on the bones. Donald Trump is removing all pardons. That means that if you're somebody who's a patriot and you love this nation, what I expect for you to do is I expect for you to start to push for Dr. Fauci's indictments. This has to be the first thing that has to happen. And let me explain to you why Donald Trump is going out of his way now to say that he will prosecute Joe Biden. It's because there is direct evidence showing that Joe Biden was not coherent. That now people who once went under oath and would have pled the fifth now are secretly telling the truth about Joe Biden because they clearly can understand that the power that be or that used to be no longer has the same control as it used to. There's too much evidence. There's too much. Everything is recorded in the White House. They're just not telling you the secrets. Of course, they know who narcotics were in the White House. They know who it belonged to. They know who took the shot at Donald Trump. They did it. And the reason why they're not telling us about it is because then they would expose methods used by the letter agencies that they use not only abroad, but they're using here against us. Donald Trump now is baiting Joe Biden. Because before, when he said that they were being looked into, Joe Biden, people released a statement saying this is ridiculous. I was aware of everything. Now he said, if he comes out now and he says that he okayed the pardons, I'm going to have him locked up for perjury. And you didn't hear anything from his office again. There wasn't any statement to refute that. There wasn't any statement addressing that. You know why Barack Obama is quiet? You know why Jill and Joe Biden is quiet? Because that Florida grand jury is going over so much heinous. You know what? That for the people who doubt Donald Trump, I think that a lot of things are going to come to light. I think you expect him to shout every move and scream every. Some enemies are so powerful you can't mention their names. You just have to fight the fight. I'm going to remain somebody who's going to be objective. I'm going to look at everything and assess everything for what it is, but I'm also going to try to also find what the root and the problem is. Donald Trump said all of this stuff because he's daring for someone to say something. Have you seen anyone who got the pardon from Donald Trump? From Joe Biden's auto pen coming out and saying, have you ever seen Fauci say something? No, you don't. And Schiff is not saying anything about it either. Schiff went and got a lawyer. And they would still be null and void because it's an ongoing conspiracy. There are co-conspirators who were not pardoned. And the people who were pardoned still kept the secrets of these conspiracies. This is not a game. I did a show long ago and I watched people on YouTube and people say the auto pen is trash, all the pen is garbage, all the pen is garbage. It's not garbage. because there were staffers that came out and told the truth, and they're recorded telling the truth. Yeah, Joe Biden was feeble. You can't issue a pardon, even if Joe Biden has said it before and said he knew. He was incapable of holding and executing the office of the United States of America. He could not be president. He had people who ran the government at his behest because he could not do it on his own. He had his wife sit in on a cabinet meeting. That has never happened in the history of the United States of America. And it would imply that Jill Biden would have the highest security clearance of any individual on the planet. If anything, the vice president could have held the meeting. But just to belittle Kamala Harris and show you how useless she is, they put Jill there because Biden did not have the capability. He defecated on himself. He fell going up flights of stairs. He fell walking on stage. He's lost himself and was incoherent in other nations and other countries. The time of the pardons, Joe Biden was already suffering, in my opinion, from a great deal of dementia. He is not the same Joe Biden. From all of the plastic surgery, from all of the trying to make him young, from all of the experimental drugs, to even having other illicit drugs allegedly put inside his system to try to prep him up, none of it worked because you can't continue. The one thing I tell people is, man, the lie gonna have to end. The lie gotta end. The lie gotta end. Especially when it's a lie everybody know. A secret between 3 men can be a secret kept for life. But a secret 5 men know, I can guarantee you they told their wives. That's just truth. That means it's going to be gossiped. A secret between 3 men can be kept for life. A secret of 5 men means someone told their wives. It's going to become gossip. The innuendos were all throughout Washington. You had Speaker Johnson, who at the time, Congressman Johnson, who went to him and asked him, why did you do it? He said, I didn't do this order. I didn't do this order. He didn't even know what he was talking about. There isn't conversations that weren't recorded in that White House. I'm telling you, he know. And they know. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay American. And remember, both sides, 2 dirty wings and the same dirty, dirty, dirty bird. That's why you're seeing Republicans elect to try to leave office, to force special elections to take place, hoping that somehow they can fracture Donald Trump's choo-choo train. But we're picking up seats in other states. We're also going to talk about the midterms coming soon. And we also have content coming, which probably will be live on if I should run again for Congress and what you think I should be delivering. Good night.
I've been a patient here now for close to a year. I wanted the best care. I wanted consistent care. Sometimes you can go to places and when you do the reviews, you'll see, oh, you know, it's okay. Well, if this person is working, it's bad. But when you check the reviews on the Smile Doctor, it's all positive. As soon as you walk in the door, I was always made to feel like I was a priority. It can give you a great experience. The televisions on the ceilings almost give you a euphoric flying feeling. They find out what music you like. So even the music of choice that you do like, it's playing when you walk in. I had a debilitating tooth issue that was actually going to start eating away at my bone marrow. And Dr. Reed caught it very early on. He removed the bad tooth. The surgery was easy, it was painless. I have 2 brand new teeth, and like I said, they are very attentive. So they're gonna measure your discomfort, they're gonna measure what pain you may have, and they're gonna deal with it. It's just a beautiful and positive environment. The experience here is unlike anything else I've ever went to, and I just encourage anybody out there, if you're watching this, come see the facility. Come listen to how quiet it is. Come listen to how happy the people are when they're exchanging words to each other. Come experience what it is to actually come and smile with confidence. Come to the Smile Doctor.